Okay, good afternoon everybody. We're going to go ahead and continue playing here on Final Fantasy 16. This time I'm on a different computer. As you guys can tell, the location behind me is different, so I'm in a different location now. This is the workstation, or I guess the high-end desktop, the Threadripper computer. So we're going to be looking at how the game runs on a Threadripper 24-core, 48-thread 7960X with 128 gigabytes of DDR5 RDIMM memory, clocked at 6400. So that's 4 sticks of memory, so 1 DPC because Threadripper has quad channel. And then we're also going to be looking at the RTX 4090 Founders Edition, running the game at 4K native resolution, just to show everybody here how we have the game set up. So we are using NVIDIA's DLAA technology to provide the anti-aliasing for a 4K native resolution. And then we have DLSS frame gen turned on. We're using a 4K Sony InZone M9 144Hz monitor. And then we have everything else maxed out except for the variable rate shading, because variable rate shading is actually, if you turn this on, it actually makes it easier for the GPU to run. So we're going to leave that one off. That's the only one that stays off. Everything else stays on. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the game here. And we are kind of at the midpoint story-wise. If you guys watched the stream yesterday, I did a very long stream and covered a lot of ground all in one sitting, trying to get through the game as fast as possible. But you guys can see this game really pushes the hardware. So this is with frame gen turned on. We're doing about 80 something frames. We'll get through some parts of the game. I'll leave the overlay on just to kind of show how it runs. But yeah, so far it runs pretty good, I would say, with the Threadripper combined with the RTX 4090 at 4K resolution. What kind of storage is the game sitting on? Oh, good, excellent question. So the game is installed on a PCIe NVMe Gen 4 SSD. Specifically, this is Micro Center's brand. This is the 4 terabyte Inland Performance Plus. So you guys can see, the game runs really good. But it requires substantially high-end hardware in order for you to get the best experience. That's the only thing. Unless you're playing the game at like 1080p, then I think like a 7700 XT. Actually, now that I mention it, Gaming Bolt has a review out for this game, the PC version. It just went out, I think, a couple hours ago. Gaming Bolt tested the game with a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D and a Radeon RX 7800 XT, and they were playing the game at 1440p, and they said they were getting like 100 plus FPS. So that's kind of what we're seeing here. We're at 100 plus FPS at 4K resolution. I will say I have never seen games make my 4090 pull this much power. Usually my 4090 pulls about anywhere from like 300 to 325, 330 watts. This game is very hard to run. You can see the power consumption right now, just sitting here doing absolutely nothing, is around 345 watts of power. So this is a very hard game for GPUs to handle, because it will max out your computer. Like you guys can see, we're at 99 to 100% utilization on the RTX 4090. You need a 7800 XT to get above. Yeah, so Gaming Bolt was playing the game at 1440p with a 7800 XT, and they were getting like 100 plus FPS. So I don't know what that means. I mean, they did say what the settings were. They're running the game maxed out, is what they said, with FSR 3 frame gen. And I think that's how you're supposed to run the game, because when I installed this game on this PC this morning, and I looked at how it configured the game, and it basically turned on, actually, I take that back. It defaulted to AMD FSR 3 with native AA and frame gen. That's how it set up the game for me. So I just switched it over to NVIDIA's DLSS 3 because I've already played like 15 hours of the game on FSR 3 with native AA frame gen. So now we're going to look at how DLSS 3 with frame gen looks, and so far I can see kind of the artifact, but I've gotten so used to it on the FSR one that it doesn't really bother me at this point. But yeah, I can see when I pan the camera, look at the water, look at like when Clive steps in and out of the water behind him, you can see the DLSS artifacting happening with the frame gen. So that is something to keep in mind if you want to play the game with frame gen. Otherwise, the latency is really, really low. So this is definitely a game that can benefit from frame gen if you're playing it at 4K and you want the game to run at high frame rate at 4K resolution. I feel like if you're someone who's playing this game at 1440p, as long as your graphics card can handle 1440p above 60 FPS, you don't really need to rely on frame gen or any of those sort of other features. Let me do something real quick here. Alright. Yeah, I don't bring up the Threadripper very often. Threadripper and the 4090 are like rare. You'll rarely ever see me stream on Threadripper and the RTX 4090. And we're actually, so this PC, for those that are wondering, this PC actually has 2 graphics cards installed. So we are actually encoding the game on a professional Radeon W7500. I'm not actually using the 4090 to encode the stream. Let me make sure that that's true. Yeah, so we are only bring up the video codec engine. Okay, so just to kind of show you guys how this is set up. Let me put this over here. Where is my... Oh, there it is. If it'll show up. There we go. All right, I wanted to show you guys Task Manager to give you an idea of what like a true high-end desktop looks like. So as you can see, this is the Ryzen Threadripper 7960X 24 core. So we have 48 threads available. That's 24 cores. Each can have 2 threads per core. So that's basically SMT, or if you're using Intel terminology, that's hyperthreading. So we basically have 48. You can see some of the cores, like the ones down here, for instance, they have nothing to do. So they're literally just sitting there like, hey, you know, I don't have anything to do. These ones aren't doing anything. So basically what that shows is that this game scales with about, if you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would say it's about 8 threads or 4 cores. Actually, looking at these, so these do seem to be evenly loaded. So it might actually be using up to 8 cores, I would say. But you can see, like, the nice thing about having a very high thread count CPU like Threadripper is it shows you how the game scales when it is not bound by core and thread count. So this is basically like unlimited threads for the game in terms of the game logic. So it's like, okay, we're just going to scale up to however many possible. So, and then just to kind of show here, well, how do I show this? Okay. So, yeah, down here. So here is the AMD Radeon Pro W7500, and you can see video codec engine is encoding the game. Basically what it's doing is it is taking the 4K frame and it is down sampling it to 1440p for YouTube. So when I send the video to YouTube, I'm uploading to YouTube constantly in real time. That is a 1440p 60 video coming from the Radeon W7500 using AV1 encoding. And then down here you can see the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090. This is the Founders Edition. You can see because the game is idling right now, it's sitting here at the 3D workload. So you could use only one GPU. Most people are going to use one GPU. But by doing this, I eliminate any sort of performance impact that I would have gotten if I was using the 4090 to both play the game and encode the stream. So by offloading the encoding to the second GPU, I'm getting the full performance numbers of the 4090, meaning we're not gimping the 4090's performance because we're streaming the game, if that makes sense. So yeah, no, the port to the PC is excellent. It is an amazing port. This is one of Square Enix's best ports, I would say. Definitely better at launch than Forspoken. Definitely better than Final Fantasy VII Remake. And night and day difference in terms of comparing this to like Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13's port was atrocious when it came out on Steam years ago. In fact, to this day, it's still stupid and they never patched it, they never fixed it. So, but yeah, this game runs amazing on PC. It's well optimized. Based off of what the developers have said. I've listened in on all their interviews, so I tend to agree with them. I think that they designed the game around 30 FPS, and then the fact that they were able to make it run as good as it does like this at 4K native with the appropriate hardware is really good. So, I mean, we're doing this. This is amazing performance right now. 100 plus FPS. This is really good. All right, let's take a look at this real quick. So, I just got to the new base of operations. So we're kind of in the second half of the game now. You tried to play 7 Remake and it just wasn't for you. Yeah, it depends on the type of games you like. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy though, like you're definitely gonna prefer. I would say you'd prefer 7 over this game. Let's see, how many of these have I completed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've completed 7 of them. This game does use direct storage, so you do want to make sure you have this game installed on, at the very least, an NVMe SSD. That way, you eliminate texture pop-in, you eliminate, like, weird, I don't know how to describe it, like foliage and stuff just kind of popping in or disappearing or NPCs disappearing in the background. if that's happening, you're probably running the game on either a SATA SSD. I can't even imagine anybody trying to play this game on a traditional hard drive. Yes, I did play this game on PS5 last year at launch, and I already completed the entire game on PS5. So this is basically my second playthrough.
Ah, there you are, Clive. Word of your adventures arrived this morning. Victor sent his thanks.
Hold on, I don't know how the game audio is coming through. Let me go ahead and make this...
I doubt Kupka will miss the fools he sent to catch me. And not a single one of the bet. Or as we saved, showed any interest in coming with us. No one seems keen to join hands with an outlaw. Any news while we were away?
This is one of the rare Threadripper streams. I probably do a total of like four of these a year.
Understood. If anyone needs me, I'll be in the map room.
So in the second half of the game, we get introduced to a bunch of new NPCs.
There must be better places than the hull of a gutted airship to bury your nose in a book.
Yet this is where she's chosen to be. And I'm sure she has her reasons.
But this game definitely does push the 4090 to its limits, I'm seeing. Because normally when I play games with the 4090, I don't really see it pull. Okay, right now the power consumption's at like where I normally see it. But we'll see what happens when we go out into the field, where there's like a lot of foliage and LOD type of environments.
I trust I'm not intruding.
Back from your mission? I'm beginning to think your habit of surviving cannot be attributed to luck alone.
One might say the same of you, Vivian Ninetails.
I'll have you know that only 4 attempts have been made on my life, and none was especially memorable.
This game almost makes me want to pull out the old RTX 3090 Ti and see how much power that GPU pulls when playing this game at 4K.
Very well then. Shall we start with the state of the realm? To absolutely no one's surprise, she finds herself at the mercy of armies and outlaws. Well, mostly armies. Though that's not for want of trying.
There's a weird, almost like a faint dithering effect with the DLAA on the hair. Like I noticed her hair, the back part of her hair looks kind of faded to me. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's a DLAA artifact or frame gen thing or what.
Days have seen the blight wrest ever more land from her grasp. For which reason she has continued to wage war on her rival across the strait, hoping to claim less blackened pastures. But Odin would sooner pawn his sword than Waloed relinquish Ash. And the Empire pays dearly.
The Empire is fighting the
every blade
kingdom.
of grass bent beneath Sambraquois boots. Little wonder then that Sylvester set his sights on the crystalline dominion, an altogether easier target, possessed of no less ether. It was 5 years ago, while you were busying yourself with the destruction of Drake's head, that the Empire made its move, subjugating its theretofore neutral neighbor.
They took over the crystalline dominion.
Legitimately claim to be the center of the world. Certainly, there is no better place to stage an army. From there, the Holy Empire's reach spans the twins.
Hey Sam.
The non-aggression treaty
Thanks for the
was the
sub.
only thing keeping them in check. But if they truly broke the pact without provocation, it is only a matter
Yeah,
of time
8103
before
is
others
very
reply
efficient.
in kind.
Yeah, I do like
The
8103.
Holy Empire, the Dalmekian Republic.
And that's why I wanted the full die. That's why I did not get a 4080, and that's why I got the 4080 Super. Because I wanted the fully unlocked 8103.
I wonder,
Even if it
when the last
doesn't
drop of
really
blood
perform
is spilled.
that different from the other one.
You were born in Twinside. Do you not fear for your home?
Oh, dark clouds are wont to gather over the Dominion. Yet in spite of it all, she has ever endured. And when the storm has passed,
Would you expect
I am
diminished
confident
performance?
she will remain.
Oh, this character,
Now,
Vivian, she's actually from
as
the
to the matter of payment
what is
for
it? The
today's
the
lesson,
crystalline dominion.
Complete a simple errand for
think.
me, and we shall
So
consider
she basically
ourselves
lost her
even.
nation. It got taken over, so that's why she's here. Would you expect diminished
Right.
performance?
Return
No,
this
I don't think
volume
this
to
game
old
is
tomes
that.
on the shelf.
This game does use the
Tell me,
CPU
mate,
quite a
Rose.
bit. Obviously, Threadripper has so many threads, so it's like
I suppose
barely
it
doing
wouldn't hurt to
anything
visit our
really. It's like
resident
what,
historian.
17% utilization. No, you can play it on a normal. I mean, I was streaming it yesterday on a 9950X, and it was totally fine with a 7900 XTX. I don't know if you were in that stream. That was like an 8-hour live stream, and it was this game on an all AMD PC. Same deal. It was 4K. The difference, so the 4090, I will say, is about 10 to 20, depending on the scene. This is averaging 10 to 20 frames per second higher than the RTX 4080 and the 7900 XTX. Those GPUs are about, I would say the average is about 15 FPS lower at 4K, and keep in mind, guys, I'm giving you like frame gen based numbers because I've only been playing this entire game through with frame gen on.
And how may I assist you today?
This is one of the few games that actually plays well with frame gen. I typically don't use frame
What is it that
gen,
you wish to learn?
but this one actually, it does actually work. The Square Enix, whatever they did, however much money they paid to that consultancy group, they did a good job getting the frame gen working. Okay,
Here's
so
the
now
latest
they add
information
this
I
thing.
have.
This is cool. The Grand Cast. And what is the inner voice? Inner voice affords you a window into both Clive's heart and the hearts of those he has encountered. Wait, I didn't know that was a thing. Was that always a thing? Huh? I'm confused. What is this? What is inner voice doing? What? What is inner voice doing? It doesn't do anything. I'm confused. Oh, is it this what it says with the blight pressing? No, that's not what it is. I'm confused. What is inner voice supposed to do? Oh, the little lines on the screen. Okay, like the little chat bubbles. I don't have what it takes to keep our people safe. Oh. I don't even know if this inner voice thing was a thing in the base game at launch on PS5. I don't remember this thing. Unless I completely overlooked it. You can see how it changes over time. Like as the story progresses. Oh, basically they went from, what is this? So you have like teenage Clive to adult Clive. And I guess this is like Clive changed his clothes. And then you have the unbranded Clive. Wait, so what happens if we do inner voice? What does it say? Oh, okay. Interesting.
One must understand one's place in the world.
Oh, okay, that's cool. It gives it like a little summary of the events. And it basically shows also the major events. Like this was a major event. That was basically where the prologue ends. And this is the beginning of the game. And I like how it also shows, over time, it shows how the land, the territory, changes. Like, who's in control of the territory. That's cool. It almost has like a, what is that type of game? Like a Total War Shogun type thing going on. The 4080 barely sniffs 300 watts, while the Strix 4090 used around 100 watts.
All operations are suspended.
I don't know. I never see my 4090 pull over 400 watts. I'm running mine at like stock, and I'm not gonna bother overclocking it ever because of the power connector that it uses. I don't trust that power connector.
Everyone seems so happy to see us. It's good to be home.
Norseman Harpocrates.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same. But alas, I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts. That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head. But without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been able to find little and less. I am sorry.
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates. See if they can't furnish you with more books.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right
But yeah,
ones. Mayhap
I consider
places.
I consider if the 4090 pulls over 350, I consider that a lot of power for this GPU to be
What
pulling.
kind? There are not many in
Just
this
mainly
world who
because
would
of the
indulge
connector.
whims of a tired old
The
historian.
safe maximum is 450 watts.
You're not too tired to go filching Kubo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogles.
FF8 remake. I think they're more
Sweet
likely
well.
going to do FF9 before they do FF8.
Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss
There
of
were a
their
lot of
parents
rumors that they were
raised
going to
them,
remake 9.
However well they hide it.
I remember
Titan took much
there was a
from us
bunch of
that
talk
night,
about them
from
potentially
some
redoing 9
more than others.
after they do
And the
7.
wounds that remain.
Well, I actually I don't even think they have to wait for the 7 trilogy to be
Which is why we
done.
must give them all the time they need.
They could just start working on
That we must.
9, you know,
Just
with a
as I
different
must
team
give
or
you
something.
The time you need to recuperate. Good day, Clive.
Good day. Gav will be back soon. I should get some rest while I can.
Wait, Mithril.
Not back a blink and you're already off solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Not a Stolas. All right. I'll have a look.
And then you get some rest.
What could Gav have thought worthy of a letter?
Have you been to the toll? I hear a new shipment's
Otto was here earlier with a letter from Gav. He left it on your desk.
The way this game is structured, it makes me think I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV just with like way better graphics. Because like Sid Solar was like the what was that, Vesper Bay, the Waking Sands base of operations, and then they moved to Revenant's Toll. This is basically like the Revenant's Toll place. I forgot what it's called. the something stones, or I forget.
What does Gav have to say?
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kupka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance. The one we've been waiting for.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
This mission of ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly
So wait,
clear.
so he can't transform into Ifrit
Crystals
anymore?
take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
He did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima.
So wait, for 5 years they never saw Joshua?
If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that.
Okay, apparently they never met up with Joshua after that. For the last 5 years.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does. To a world without mother crystals. To Sid.
Why are they in the Northern Territories? So that's where he's been, in the Northern Territory?
And so the North is lost.
I knew that the Blight spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, are our efforts in vain?
Master Clive, a moment, if you... My apologies. I didn't mean to intrude.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well.
The Gathering Storm.
What would make Martha leave the rest?
Something has happened to Martha. We need to speak with Otto.
Oh, we go over here. Oh wait, no, that's a dead end. Where is it? Over. Oh.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip round the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power.
Well, they're not wrong. They're not wrong in thinking that.
Naturally, old Martha could see the way that we.
It makes it sound like it's a bad thing.
It was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
Couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
Oh, we got the hunt board now. Oh, all in good time? Wait, I can't do any of this stuff right now? Well, that's lame.
Have you finished sorting those reports yet?
Finished? I ain't started. Been busy enough with my own work.
Martha is a survivor. We'll find
Oh,
her.
we gotta go find the curse breakers. So what does that mean? I just teleport out of here? Oh, somebody actually has a side quest. $450 is the limit if you keep the slider at 100%.
Again! I seen schoolboys swing harder.
Wasn't there like a... Oh wait, it's over here.
So we can call it a morning.
Oh.
Welcome back, Sid.
Damn blighted bilge. Is everything all right?
Aside from the holes in my hull.
Yeah, see, like right here, it's pulling 352 watts.
That's one way.
When it was looking at the water in the background, look at that. It goes up to 354 to 356 watts with the water.
That slurry will keep eating away at the timber like young Tech does our lemon tarts. Suppose a coat of pitch might stave off the rot for a moon or so.
I don't think I've ever seen this card pull the full 450 watts.
Not any bloody more. Doubt the old tub's got more than a dozen runs left in him.
course, Obolus. Your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland. Without it, we'd be lost.
Well, I'm glad someone round here sees it that way. To make pitch, you need pitch trees. But in case you haven't noticed, live trees are one of the 1,000 things sorely lacking in the Deadlands. Now, I'm not so unkind as to ask you to fell a faraway forest.
Yeah, it's a lot of money for not a whole lot. I mean, you would need to be playing at 4K to justify it, in my opinion. I would never buy a 4090 for anything less than 4K resolution. I think that's a waste of money, but that's my opinion. You know, a lot of people probably don't agree with that.
Might be enough to tide me over.
Sounds easier than felling a faraway forest.
I think in terms of the way my logic, the way I think of purchasing computer hardware when it comes to graphics cards, it's all about the resolution. There's a certain, like, I guess there's a price point associated with certain resolutions. And really, to justify the upper end for the graphics card market, you have to be on 4K resolution. Otherwise, I don't see how, because you can get away, like with 1440p, there are so many good options. I guess the one thing about 4K though is, like, look at how with the frame gen, and wait, I don't want to go out there. With the frame gen, look at how if I move the character, I don't want it to do that. Let me go over here a little bit. Like the background, the water, look at his hands, look at his arms, and look at the water. When I move, I can see, I don't even know if that's frame gen that's doing that. That might just be like DLSS being dumb, but I mean that is something that I noticed. You were able to pass down the, well, yeah, but the, well, that's I don't know. I mean, that's, I don't know how I feel about giving a kid that type of caliber of GPU when they're young, because I feel like, I don't know. Even 4090 can't do native 4K 60 Ultra. Yeah, not in this game it can't. It cannot. That's true. But see, that's why, and that's why some people are like, well, if you're already having to use frame generation, or you're having to use like upscaling, that further defeats the purpose of having such a high-end GPU. If you can save money buying a lesser GPU like an XTX or a 4080 and just doing the exact same thing, like turn on frame gen. I mean, because think realistically, guys, like I was playing the game for 8 hours yesterday, 8 hours non-stop with a 7900 XTX at 4K resolution with frame gen turned on. And the experience, it's like, okay, the FPS was lower than this, but it was like same experience, you know, overall it's the same experience. So it's like you're not really, the 4090 is not really doing anything in particular in terms of adding any kind of value for these type of games, because these type of games, like, as long as you're above 60, it's fine. Like, you don't need 200 frames per second to play Final Fantasy 16. There's people out there that played it on PS5 that already did combo mad and like no hit runs where they never took any damage for the entire game, and they're playing on a PS5. So you don't need like 200 FPS to get like to be able to perform properly. That's more of like a skill issue. It's like, what did Trunks from Dragon Ball Z say? The weapon doesn't make the man. In this case, the graphics card would be the weapon. It's a skill. It's skill that actually matters. Anyway, you tried the 6950 XT. It ran hot. Well, I don't know what game you're playing. I don't really notice any shimmer with FSR. It depends on the game. It depends on also like which version of FSR. FSR 3 is very, very similar to DLSS. Like, you'd be hard pressed to tell the difference. What am I supposed to do? This guy told me to do something. Slay the thistles. Oh wait, we're going up to Rosaria again? I guess we're going this way. Okay. Oh wait, no, we need to go over here. Whoa, that's a long drop.
Easier than felling a forest, I said. The trees don't have teeth.
Oh, wombo combo juggle. Okay, I need to remove this tornado. I'm tired of the tornado. I keep activating it and then it just... It's so hard to see what's going on. And it causes the frame rate to fall below 60. Okay, that was pretty cool. I don't know how I did all that. I was kind of confused on like what the approach was there. It gets pretty crazy once you unlock the third icon, because your combo capability is insane. Do you see that aerial juggle? The enemy couldn't even fight back. It's just juggled. It was like playing a fighting game. That was like playing Tekken right there.
I can't imagine Obelisk needing any more than this.
Yeah, but no one really uses balance though. That's the thing. Like no one should be using. So my rule of thumb for upscaling. Oh wait, I just now noticed now this shows up. Okay. But my rule of thumb for upscaling is, in my mind, there's only one setting. It's quality. I don't use any... To me, I pretend like balance, performance, and ultra performance don't actually exist. They're not actually options. So quality is really the only option. So what that means is if you're playing the game at 4K and you're not able to get above 60, you can use quality, which basically... So for those that don't know, quality, 4K with upscaling set to quality means 1440p. It means that the game will render at 1440p internally. And then DLSS will do its thing, or FSR will do its thing to upscale the image, aka why it's called upscaling. It'll upscale the 1440p image to 4K resolution. That's how it works. So the thing with the lower resolutions, like 1440p, I will never use DLSS. I will never use FSR. If I'm playing a game on a 1440p monitor, I will never use upscaling. So it's only a thing that applies to people who play at 4K, as far as I'm concerned. And I think that's kind of how it should be, because if you're playing the game at 1440p and you're upscaling to 4K, the pixel density of 1440p is already good enough that the algorithm, in this case FSR or DLSS, has enough information, enough data to project a more accurate upscaled image without losing too much detail. So, and then they have these sharpness filters. The default in this game is 10. I just leave it at 10. It looks good at 10. I didn't bother to mess with this. But yeah, that's so in my opinion, and remember, this is only my opinion, so some people might disagree, because it really depends on the type of hardware that you have. But I'm of the opinion that if you want a game at 1440p, you should be selecting a graphics card that is strong enough to play the games at 1440p. And the reality is you don't have to spend more than around $700 to get a good 1440p graphics card. I would say the upper end of 1440p would be like a 4070 Ti, Super or a 7900 XT. Anything above that is, I feel like that's wasting money on a small resolution. So, I mean, that's how I look at it, and that's how a lot of game developers also look at things. So, but again, gamers are so varied in what they do, and that's totally fine, but it doesn't mean that it's correct. It doesn't mean that the industry develops games the way gamers think things should be done.
Well, did you find me some wax?
Find is one way of putting it.
1440p OLED available as well. Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's but still, you don't need that high end of a GPU for 1440p.
I don't suppose the Argo will mind as long as he stays above the waves.
Argo? So your boat has a name? I didn't know.
Yeah. Same as my old man.
No.
He was a ferryman.
No,
himself.
FSR and DLSS have fixed preset
all I have left of him.
percentages.
And thanks to you,
So unless the dev is not using the preset properly, the way they're supposed to, 1440p is quality if you're running at 4K native. That other one, that 17 to 1800p, that is called ultra quality, and that's not always an option for a lot of games. Like this game doesn't have that option, that ultra quality option. We need to go back out now and do the thing.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
Curse breaker.
I'm sorry, Sid. We were too late. The Imperials have already left.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
Fucking Imperials.
The boys from the garrison might still be nearby.
Anything catch your eye?
Yeah, and for Fortnite, you don't actually need that high end of a GPU. But again, it depends on the resolution. The resolution determines what GPU is appropriate. Oh wait, they sell elixirs. That could be useful, but I don't think I need that right now.
eh?
They've killed my bearer. I demand recompense.
Let's get you to a physical.
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials ascended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
I don't know what quality preset means if your resolution is 1440p or 1080p. Because I don't. The reason why I don't know that is because I never would use upscaling at those lower resolutions.
We will.
So the only one I have memorized are the presets for 4K.
He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
Dragon's Dogma 2, 1080p is performance 1440p. There's a lot of games that tell you. Hogwarts Legacy will tell you what it is. Yeah, 1080. So if you're playing at 4K, quality is 1440p, and I think performance is 1080p or balance. I always get them mixed up, but I think it's performance is 1080, and ultra performance is 720.
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
Yeah, and the reality is most people that are playing competitive games are never going to use those those
garrison wouldn't have the authority to act
costly
the orders
graphic
would have to have come
settings.
from higher up.
Am I going the right way? Oh, we are. Okay. And it is foggy.
If those Orsons touch an arrow on Martha's head, oh, kill them.
I need to find the quest to unlock the chocobo. I'm tired of running around on foot.
Company.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, I need to turn this off. I want to turn that twister off. Although it is good against flying enemies. Let's try some different abilities. Lightning Rod. Create a ball of lightning that upon being struck, chains lightning to other nearby enemies. Judgment Bolt. Oh, that's the... that could be good. Let's get that. Okay, now I have all the new moves. Alright, remove this aerial blast. Try something else. Rook's Gambit looks like it's one of those more advanced moves. Let's try Rook's Gambit. I haven't used it yet. I like Wicked Wheel. That's good for air combos. Performance is 1080p. Shouldn't balance actually be... No, it's an intermediate resolution. Yeah, it's in between the two of them. I wonder if I should try that over Thunderstorm. Pile Drive looks good. It probably has a short cooldown. I think I might go back to using the Phoenix moves instead of the Ifrit moves because the Phoenix ones... Heat Wave is just so good. I guess we'll keep Ignition. This is a good shield move though, but I guess we're gonna go with one of the Phoenix moves again. Probably Heat Wave. Heat Wave is just so good. Rising Flames is good too. That's the uppercut. I'll just keep the default Ramu ones and then see. I mean, we can always make like another one later. Increases Ignition. Well, I'm not okay, I still have Ignition. Wicked Wheel. Do I still have that? I got both of those. And I don't have any of the Ramu. Oh, wait. No. Okay. Let's go with this. Yeah, but see, like now, this is an area that's hard to run. See, look at this. Now our frame rate is dipping to like 79.
Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something. Tell us what happened. What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened. The Black Shields? The bastards caught wind. The abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds. Poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
Seems a step too far, even for the Empire. Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
Was there something around the back? I always thought this building... Oh yeah, see, there is something back here.
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
Oh, they got the special guys.
For their crimes,
They got the black shield.
Punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long.
Oh man, so much combos. Oh, that guy parried me? Or no, did I guard break him or did he parry me? Oh, he's guarding. Alright, I got something for you. Try this on. Bam!
Is that all of them?
I think so.
I think max level is level 50, if I remember correctly.
I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive.
And then New Game Plus increases the max level.
Found her.
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him, calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields will return. The cullings will continue. Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Matt to beg his aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Sid, where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest. But the bearers... they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix Jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
Wait, so what are these key items? Because I never actually look at the key items. Mortal remains. Oh, it's the dust. It's their ashes, essentially. Wait, there's a graveyard over here. We can't go across that? It's too deep? What is that thing? Whoa. Oh, it's a bounty. It's one of the hunts. A notorious mark.
You think it's spotted us, Torgal? What am I saying? Of course it has. There's a floating eyeball.
We juggle me. There. Oh man, this game is so fun. The combat system is just spectacular. And the level up. So we're like halfway to max level.
You didn't see that coming.
Oh man, that was one of the hunts. Maybe that means I unlocked the hunt board now.
That must be the bridge. So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
No one survived then?
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening. Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers. Poor souls died to give me a chance to save others. I won't let their sacrifice be in vain.
If you don't mind, Sid, I'd like to stay here with Martha. Just until she finds someone to guard the rest, that is.
I don't think there's anything up here. Oh, wait. This is that unlocks something. I think this will unlock the chocobo. Yeah, we gotta do this.
Oi! You handy with that sword of yours? Of course you are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? Because a flock of noble chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos?
You heard me right. Wild birds, and not just any chocobos. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see.
Chocobos? Fighting bandits?
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Oh, go on then.
All right.
There's a good lad.
Where can I find these chocobos?
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. You save Whiteheart and her flock, and don't worry.
I'm sure.
Good luck.
Okay, let's do this. Because this will unlock the ability to ride chocobos and get around faster. The green quest with the plus means it unlocks something.
Whiteheart. That's quite a name for a chocobo.
Wish this place would become sunny again. It's so depressing. It's all cloudy and gloomy like this.
A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind. Speaking of brave birds, looks like they went that way.
What's this thing over here?
These chocobos aren't going down without a fight. They're in trouble.
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you'd seen the last of us, did you? You've been bad for business. But I reckon someone will pay good coin to mount your head on their wall.
Not around here, they won't.
Oh. And why's that, eh?
Because she's something of a hero in these parts. You hurt her, and I hurt you.
Piss off. Or better still, how about we hurt you both?
All right then. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Oh man, that's so cool. Oh, this dude was trying to chase me?
You're safe now. White Heart, I presume. Do you know her, boy?
Torgal remembers. Why don't you remember?
That scar. It couldn't be. Ambrosia. It is you. You survived. And you found yourself a flock.
Oi! Is it over? I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would. And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully, they did. And not only that.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mount. Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Kind-hearted warrior that you are. Bird like her would have cost a princely sum. You born a lord or something?
Well,
Oh no, sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Don't matter who you are. You done right by me.
What is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon. Told you. And it seems her pals agree.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. The lads down the stables will be hearing about this tonight. Oh, stay right where you are.
Alright, so now we gain the ability to ride chocobos again.
Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
She does indeed. How much do I owe you?
Ah, a few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old Whiteheart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. But she's earned her right to happiness and more besides. Don't you worry, we'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, Whiteheart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now. You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my cart on the road, didn't you? No, that can't be right. That fellow was a bearer.
Must have been my double.
Oh, must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am. Pay me no mind. Anyhow, best be on my way. Good luck to the both of you.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
Okay, so now, okay, hold R on the field.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This also allows, like,
no mistakes.
The ability to just run past enemies too. Can't cross that. What?
Where's Gav?
Gav should be back by now.
I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
Wait, can I unlock the hunt board yet? Because I really want to unlock that so I can start getting those completed.
So Mather's alright.
Still can't do that? What?
Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
Well, the two nations beat their shields. The rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals. Four mother crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rosfield.
Lord Byron Rosfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Oh, I see. So they are going after the crystal that's on the island. So the Iron Blood will end up being the enemy. I think. The hunt board is now available.
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Oh wait, I forgot to check. Is there new weapons?
Think it's alright to touch him?
Back, are ya? What do you want?
Gaia Blade +1. No, I still have the best in slot. What about Reinforce?
Anything else?
What's her name?
And what can I do for you?
Nothing.
Is that all?
Okay. This base makes me think of Monster Hunter. It's like a Monster Hunter base.
I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died, and now the fruit's finally ready to eat. And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact. She bred the bitter right out of it.
Impressive. And welcome news to more than a few, I'd say.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers, on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems better them coming from you.
It'll be nice being the bearer of good news for a change.
Oh, thank you. She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? Here you go. Martel apples there. You hear that, Martel? Today's finally the day.
Hold on, does it show? Oh wait.
This tongue here pulls the black from the lake water and renders it clean. You'll have to ask Mid if you want to know how it works, though.
Yeah, where is Mid? We haven't seen her yet.
How much water can a flower drink? Did you come through the forge today? It smells like a still.
That broom's as ragged as...
You two look like you could use something to eat. Here. Courtesy of Martel.
Martel. Now, where have I heard that name before?
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked?
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so.
A gift from the backyard.
Martell apples. I don't remember that quest icon with the treasure chest.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab them right from the branch, make Martell livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martells, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Oh, Clive. Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friend's donations?
Oh, no. That's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any? Here's everything we've received and everything promised.
So what does this do? Oh, okay, you unlock, I see. So you unlock these things. They delivered like a, it's like a donation. It's like a Twitch donation. It's like, well, this person 15 renown. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
Actually, it's only based off of the total.
How may I help you today, Clive?
Yeah, it's based off of the total
Your
that you
benefactors are a
accumulate.
generous lot.
This gives 400 ability points.
Here you are. All yours.
Oh, okay. So we have 55 renown.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
They took that idea out of a gacha game. Genshin Impact has that kind of system.
Clive.
Or maybe gacha games took that out
Hero?
of RPGs. Who knows?
Think you can help?
This game reeks of Creative Business Unit 3. The way they design, like, the way these two look like the people who you go to get, like, you exchange the tomes for gear. That's what that looks like. And then they have the hunt board.
What's the matter, Nectar? The hunt board? It's where the curse breakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Right, the people of that last thing...
Okay, we know. It's a hunt board. Yeah, that's where it's marked. So we just killed this guy. That was like the first one. Okay. The Angel of Death. What is this? Caer Norvent. On the way of Caer Norvent. Met with a troop. Okay, then there's this one. This one's gonna be harder than that one. Interesting.
Ah, my favorite pupil. What is it that you wish to learn? Here you are.
So currently, we're going to do what? We went over here. The black shields. So we're going after Drake's breath. The crystal on an island. But the iron, that's going to attract the attention of the Iron Kingdom.
Thus ends today's lesson.
Once the Dalmecs have laid siege to the Dominion, very little will be leaving Twinside, including the many medicines distilled there.
I can't jump. It's weird, I couldn't jump in that room for some reason.
They say removing a brand is almost as painful as getting one.
There was a time I only had eyes for Otto. But then I saw the light, and his name is Cole. That way he looks at you like a frightened fawn who's lost his mother. Oh, if only I could shoot an arrow through his heart.
Man, this place is so big. I didn't realize there was like so... Okay, I thought that would go downstairs. Does this loop around to the back? Yeah, this place is pretty large.
What's the matter, Sid? You look as pale as the day your predecessor slung you in the cell next to mine. Not about to have another fit, are you? Of course you aren't. You're a changed man now. We both are.
Dress is simply fabulous. In it though.
Perhaps they're old enough for the sins of Zemeckis. And you say Sid built this place?
Did you come through the forge today? It smells like a still.
Alright, let's see what this unlocks.
Sent their thanks. They were clearly very fond of Martel.
They remembered her. I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. She put everything into her work. She wasn't gonna rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. When she died, I named a sapling after her.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her, had you not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything really, but thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martel?
Well, that was a lot of experience for that. We gotta go to Hawk's Cry Cliff. Mandatory. Cannot warp to any other place. This is Southern Rosaria.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
Bloodlines.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
Faster!
Wait, the chocobo wants to fight?
You deserve a rest.
The chocobo actually wants to fight? Why would they want to fight me? I thought they were non-hostile. Okay.
Ready, go?
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! Thought they were loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing the gallows jig like the miller's son?
You're a long way from home, aren't you?
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What with their 100 full legions?
100? I heard it were 1,000.
There was a time my husband might have stood up to those men. Though back then, he wouldn't have needed to.
Come along now, before one of the boys starts thinking you're something you're not.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think there was a Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. Huh. If only we were.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out. Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pool.
Then we shall be on our way. These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Oh, okay, so this interconnects. This is the southern half of it. So Amber, where's Eastpool? Oh, Eastpool's up here.
Let's go.
Faster!
This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Wait, what? Aliens? Fallen hunters?
Straight home now. Ever since the monastery, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The mother crystal's collapse?
I have an idea. You're going to like it.
It's over!
Wait, why are these things here? Good farming. Although, what was on the other side? Is this just all like fallen? Oh wait, there's dudes over there.
More of my mother's men.
Is this a treasure chest? Oh, it is. Oh, that's gonna blow up. Hey, that's interesting. Hey, there's like a big dude over there. Like on this side.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Blood, Clive. And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
He immediately draws his weapon.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then? We owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again. I'll show you a true shield of resentment.
Man, he just finished them off quick.
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Aldil. Guardians of the Flame.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
Aldil's gates. Wait, hold up.
Ready, go?
I see some items.
Yeah.
Before we rush over there, we need to go get the item.
Find something, boy. Death.
Found her.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone?
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
revives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
Is there a way to open up the gate? Or, I guess, lower the bridge? Oh, see, it's not open.
No use calling Ambrosia now. We're approaching Buiron Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith.
Fly, Ambrosia!
So wait, where are we on... Oh, we're headed... This will lead to the Dalmekian Republic, I think. Yeah, it's headed this way.
No need to ride from here.
Didn't happen to come by way of Old Hill, did you? Saw some Imperials clad in black making for the docks just the other day. The next morn, you couldn't see the sun for all the ravens.
I did, Mummy! I could hear him shouting from down the road.
They tell us there's a coup.
Passage to the provincial capital is restricted to Imperial Army personnel.
The gates are closed! Be gone!
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
I'm hungry.
Don't go thinking you'll find refuge in the houses outside Port Isolde. The place is a wretched hive of thieves and blackguards.
What is this? Oh, the land's been subjugated. So that leads to the Rosaria capital. Man, you never seem to be able to get back there. Can't call this here. Quiet Sands.
The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better. That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
I can't use the chocobo to open it.
You deserve a rest.
Wait, that's inaccessible. Wait, what?
We should start with the main gate and see where that gets us. Run like the wind.
Let us pass! My children are starving!
Have mercy.
Voice-rinsed dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep!
Better out there than in here.
No, get enough
Fuck off.
Find the chinless bastards. Those crystals belong to us all.
I said, where were you, filth?
Back to your stall!
I'll cut you down where you stand.
Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in.
Well, that didn't work.
I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus. We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
Faster!
So we're gonna have to go the way that said it was inaccessible, but now it's not. Oh, we're just gonna push it open. Okay. Okay, well that's easy. Why didn't we do this from the start?
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Footpad.
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
It's an excuse. This is just another excuse to just do combos. Will this guy live? They're just called enemies. Enemies. Enemies bested. Whatever those are. One guy's name was Footpad.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Huh? Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
We can speak inside.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye. The foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son?
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge. Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves Shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
I suppose we owe you our thanks. At least you're not dead. You spared us when you could have just as easily sent us to the mud.
We'll show them that the fire in our hearts.
You're telling me that's the Archduke's son?
In the flesh. Saw him once when I was your age. He had that same look in his eyes.
Allow me to tend to your needs, my
Still
lord.
Gaia Blade.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
Alright, we're gonna play through this section, but then this is probably where we're gonna end the stream soon. I'm gonna take a quick break. And actually, we don't need... I'm gonna turn off Afterburner so I can see the full UI. Because I don't think we need this anymore. I think it's pretty clear how the game runs. Okay. Alright, let's get through this section here.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buiron Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
Alright, let's do this. Wait, throughout the main scenario, often joined by various companions. Wait, what? Joined by various companions who are keen to lend their assistance. However, depending on Clive's destination, they may choose to remain behind. Okay, so do we have Sir Wade on our side now? Oh, we have a full party. Hold on a second. So if I save like this. Hey, it actually has the sprite for Sir Wade. Sir Wade has his own sprite too. That's cool. Wait a minute. He had a sprite. This was Sir Wade with like young Joshua. And there's man, I forget that guy's name. The guy who died in the prologue. It's mainly just this quest, okay.
The blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Alright, let's go. Let's do this.
Come along now.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame! For us area!
For us area!
Your petty revolution.
Just run behind them and
ends
attack
here.
these boys in the back.
On these our swords we swear.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
And are the Wyvern to fight their battle for them.
Over here!
More dragons.
The Imperials aren't taking any chance. I can't say that it's
A noble stand, albeit a misguided
Night of the
one.
Lasting Dark.
In taking it,
You have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
Imperial Link. Dragon Talon.
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it. As we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
Can't stand that cloudy sky. It's so depressing. The cloudy sky and the, like, I guess the low-key music in the background.
Comrades' endeavors.
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, He plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter.
Another seal.
It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
Seal obtained. Burnt blade from Wade.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Alright, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to her serene holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit.
See that you use the good plates, Rutherford.
So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster.
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that
well, this part of the story has really weird lighting in the sky during the day because it's always cloudy.
Those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Yeah, the game does look pretty good at night, though. I will agree with you. The overcast sky, though, for the last section of the daytime parts of the game is not a good look. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to get on that boat and they're going to go to here and they're going to destroy this crystal. So this part of the game is where you're starting to destroy all the crystals to save the world, essentially. So the first one was destroyed. We're gonna kill this one next, and then this one I think is the next one to go. And then I forget which one. I think I forget. I think this one goes after the yellow one, and then this is the last one, if I remember correctly. Here be monsters.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
This is gonna be a good stopping point, though, for the stream. I may stream more of this game later this evening, and we'll probably be looking at how the game runs on a 9700X paired up with an RTX 4080 Super. That's what we'll showcase next, because that'll allow me to play the game on my 32-inch OLED. Because I've been playing the game on these 27-inch 4K monitors with Threadripper and with the other computer, the stream computer. So I think maybe, well, let's play through this scene, I guess.
Back again, Lord Rosfield. I'm touched that you should find me such good company.
It is not your company, but your counsel that I seek on this occasion.
Ever the charmer. What will it be today, then?
The Iron Kingdom. I need to know what to expect.
The Iron Kingdom.
You'll soon be setting sail for Drake's Breath, then, I take it. The mother crystal that rises from the boiling sea. There was a time when a true-blooded Rosarian had only to brave the waves to visit it. But then the Ironblood made their move. As you know, the Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does. But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No. The Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the orthodoxy holds the Mother Crystals sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing. A poison, no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies. Some 80 years ago in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the Blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Drastanus, home of Drake's breath, and plucked it from the Duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of Duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island, and with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity. The Mother Crystal is both the object of the Iron Blood's worship and their gateway to the continent, making Drastanus the holiest of holy grounds, from which the Orthodox Crusade shall one day sail forth to claim the remaining Mother Crystals, or die trying.
My father and my grandfather both traded blows with the Iron Blood for control of Drake's breath. Had things unfolded differently at Phoenix Gate, we would have sent our entire fleet against them.
But instead, they sent their fleet against Rosaria, sacked the capital, killed the men, and captured the women, including Jill. I'd say you'd be forgiven for wanting a little revenge, Clive.
My only aim is to destroy the Mother Crystal. But thank you all the same.
Yeah, well, the main reason why I'm just watching the main story cutscenes is because it is interesting it's like when you watch a movie for the second time after already seeing the movie, and you pick up things the second time that you weren't really aware of the first time. So it is an interesting way to like get a different perspective on how things are playing out. But yeah, I am going to be playing this game a third time, and maybe a fourth time. And on the third playthrough, I will be skipping every single cutscene, because I am going to be playing this on New Game Plus. Once we finish the main story, we will do New Game Plus on PC, as well as the 2 DLC. I never did the DLC on the PS5, and I never played New Game Plus on the PS5. So we're definitely going to skip all the cutscenes in New Game Plus. And if I do Final Fantasy mode, which is the highest difficulty setting that this game offers, definitely will be skipping all the cutscenes in that mode.
Here for another of my lectures.
Oh, I guess we don't need to talk
While
here
the
again.
Iron Blood may not be your chief concern.
Okay. There are some side quests, though. This is going to be where I'm going to stop the stream. Let me actually, before we do that, I just want to see.
I could have sworn we had a few.
But yeah, if I stream again this evening, it will be with the 4080 Super and the Ryzen 7 9700X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, so we haven't actually done any stage sections. All this entire, like, this 3-hour live stream was just going through zones and progressing the main story.
That monster's taking quite a...
Is it business or pleasure? If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it.
Still no new
Oh my
openings.
god!
Alright, well, that's probably gonna be it.
Either way.
So, the good news is the game looks good at 4K.
We'll be over soon.
Still has kind of flat lighting, though, in a lot of areas of the game. But it runs well. It runs well. It's designed to use frame gen. Some people might not like that, but because then they're stuck having to use upscaling as an alternative. I do think the frame gen implementation in this game is actually quite good. So far, my entire play time has been using frame gen. So anyway, that's going to be it, guys, for this stream. I may do another live stream this evening on a different PC. And we'll try to cover as much ground. I do want to finish this game as soon as possible, so we can get into New Game Plus. And try to get like 100% platinum on this title. That's going to be it for this stream. Once again, take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.